Division 1, we're back with Heroes Lounge, everybody. And today we got the Vinland Raiders against Team Kayak, a best of 3 series in the highest division of HeroesLounge.gg, the biggest, by far biggest amateur league that we have in Europe. Definitely check them out if you want to play with like-minded people. As I said, HeroesLounge.gg. We're in Cursed Hollow, map number 1, over on the left. It is the Raiders with Sven on Genji, Uki on Diablo, we got Nano on Junkrat, Gavlo and on Urel, and Unforgiven on Rigor. To the right side, Team Kayak with Arian on Sylvanas. We got Link on Brightwing, Torian on Johanna, Master Chips on Dehaka, and Jayhard is playing Tychus. So, let's see what the Raiders are gonna be able to do here. Can Team Kayak stay afloat, or are they going to sink and swim? That's a big question over here, but at least for the time being, we have a little skirmish here in the middle. We have a little bit of an attack down against Tychus as Urel is coming in to play this one out, but in the middle of the map, the blue team is instantly taking one of the minion waves down, puts a bit of extra pressure onto the structures, and starts off with a tiny lead. As long as the Haka doesn't get the lick here against Junkrat, they're going to be totally fine on that one, of course, as well. And with that, it's time to see what the teams can pull off. All of these guys are, by the way, in the top 3, top 5 of Division 1 in Heroes Lounge. So, as already mentioned before in other games, just to put that a little bit in perspective, some of these teams you've already seen in tournaments. There's no prize money in Heroes Lounge, so a lot of the teams are participating, A, for practice, B, for a little bit of fun, and it is for them an environment where they can test some new strategies, can test some new build, can just fun around a bit. And oftentimes you have mixed teams where people want to play together just because they're friends, and they don't usually play together in top tier tournaments because they have an established team. So all of those things are playing out there. Sometimes that leads to super interesting strategies, interesting builds as well, but generally speaking, there is a fairly decent level of play that we're getting here. Hazops and some of the other boys are obviously also participating. I pointed it out in the past too. And with that, we're gonna just see what the Raiders and Team Kayak can play around here. Okay, so now with that said and done, we got our camp at the top right already claimed. Genji was funning around a little bit and double checking, so a bit of scouting going on his part. The blue team was a bit faster with the hard camp. They're taking the bruisers early and are able to push through the middle. It's obviously Sylvanas that is a bit of an X factor here as they're trying to push. If Arian is able to assist any camper, any push with his trade, then they can take structures down very, very easily. Now a couple of Siege Giants already on both sides. We got the Master Assassin as the level 4 choice. Again, the passive, mostly for Odin, more so than anything else. Not really for the quest completion. Top side, Genji has to deal with the Haka right now. The global advantage definitely on the side of Team Kayak. So they have the macro game in the late stages of map number 1 that they can rely upon to try and control the lanes a little bit more. Maybe push them out or safeguard one of their keeps. So we'll see what happens there. No kill just yet. We're already 2.5 minutes into the game, meaning that the tribute is spawning any second now. So that should result with the first bigger fight as the teams are making a play for the objective. But up to this point, at least, we haven't seen a kill yet. Nobody has pulled a Lauber. Nobody has pulled a Lauber thus far. Let's just put it like that. But it seems like Diablo is going to be the first one to fall. And yep, indeed, that is the end of the frontliner. Gets caught there. And of course, without the tank, they don't really have a chance of interrupting this too long. There's a double channel happening where Dehaka is at least interrupting. But with Dehaka now moving down to the bottom of the map to deal with Urel, all of a sudden it's a 4 versus 4 up here topside. And they're interrupting as best as they can. Genji is doing it again, misses, and here comes the channel and the first tribute for Team Kayak. Nicely done. Obviously, there was still a bit of an opportunity for the Raiders to maybe interrupt this longer and allow Diablo to rejoin the fight, but it didn't quite pan out that way. Him dying early made it extremely difficult for the blue team. Level 7 talents are in. Sylvanas diving in deep, needs some assistance, and Brightwing is coming in right away. Friend! And there's the heals. And talking about the heals, Rhaegar also providing quite a few, but has to be very careful here. Gets sucked in by the Condemn, and if anybody could have followed up on it, that might have been the end of Unforgiven. Starts jumping in deep though as they're trying for another kill, but it's again Jojo that keeps them at bay. And now that Taika is making an appearance, the blue team would be well advised to slowly retreat here, because if not, then they are going to end up with probably at least one of those bad boys dying. But the second tribute is up, so reinforcements will arrive timely. We have another tribute spawning right now, and this is the second one in the game. Level 8 for both of the teams. Yeah, camps so far taken, already pinged very early, just before the spawn, so Arian is now moving out and trying to get those siege giants, which means that if they want to have a chance up here at the top left, they would have to interrupt. But this position is obviously great for the Raiders, so we'll see how long the red team can realistically interrupt this. Where is Rega going? What? Okay, trying to take the camp here. I really thought that they would focus on the tribute a bit more than that, but they decide against it, it seems. So, yep, the interrupt doesn't happen, out of range, and that was nearly a catch on Tychus. So a little bit weird how it played out. Rega abandoning in order to go to the siege giant camp. I can understand the impulse, but it seemed like they had a good shot at getting the tribute quickly. Happened that way. So even despite that, the interrupt just didn't go through. Was nice blocking and zoning from Diablo, but especially Junkrat. And with that now, we got level 10 coming in very quickly. The Haka with a quick lick over here as he gets attacked. And off we go. Tychus with Odin. We got the shield for Jojo. And now that they have ults, the blue team needs to be very careful. They were so close to a kill, but now they're losing Junkrat. So he's gone. Diablo trying to move out as Master Chips is looking for another connect, but doesn't get the dragon. We got, with level 10, finally also the Ancestral Healing for Rega, so a bit of a panic button that can be used to save targets. And of course, down here at the bottom of the map, the wall has already been opened up by Sylvanas. Brightwing coming in and trying to help out with the potential Rega kill is a nice gesture, but I think they need a little bit more to take him down here. And instead it's Unforgiven who all of a sudden realizes that he might have an opportunity. Self-Ancestrals, they're going straight in for Sylvanas again, and she's in trouble. Big issues for her, and Arian gets fully hammered. A quick Fruit Fly Barbecue is also coming in. And that little birdie is definitely al dente, so nicely done. 2 kills to 2, and a fairly open and even game. Tychus at the top struggling a bit, but gets some assistance too. So with level 10 abilities, we have the second tribute locked in for the Raiders. Thanks to the double kill that they just got, they were able to get the one that spawned at the bottom of the map. Therefore, the next one could mean curse against the red team. Still game number 1, and as I said before, it is of course a best of 3 series here at HeroesLounge. Towers at the bottom of the map also getting attacked. Another quick hit by Diablo as they're trying to find the angle on Jojo, but Brightwing is back to business, helping out, and look who it is, the Globals! Isolation connects, the drag didn't. Rega doesn't have the big heal available, but he can still try and assist Diablo a little bit further. The big boy goes down though. Diablo gone, at least he had his souls. Top side, Urel with a bit more pressure against the fort, but down to the bottom of the map, the first one gets taken apart by Team Kayak, as they are the first to take a structure down. Nicely done. Should probably take vision over here as well. Damage output, we have 18,000 for Sylvanas. Tychus sitting at a measly 16k. And talking about Tychus, he gets put into a corner and absolutely slapped around. Now we have Junkrat with 27,000, definitely taking the top damage here. He's been annoying time and time again. And he's not only leading in regards to hero damage, but he's also taking the lead on siege damage. And it makes the red team's life a living hell, I want to say. Now, with the next tribute spawning, there's an opportunity to get a curse, and the zoning is looking really good for the Raiders. Jojo is trying to come in close and is able to get at least one interrupt, but now that Genji is joining the fun in the fight, they are focusing the front line again. Junkrat isn't even here, neither is the Haka, but the barbecue comes in, and they are going for Jojo again. Urel this time, the one with the final touches. Brightwing dies as well. That's 2 down. They're trying for Sylvanas over here as well. She's able to escape, as it seems. The Haka also barely escaping, but that's a curse. That's curse right here. 5 kills to 3. They're trying for even more kills now. Self-Ancestral and Rega once again. And as all of the lanes lanes are pushing. Drunkard wasn't even needed at the bot lane fight, so he's sitting topside now, ensuring that they're going to take that fort down. In the middle of the map, we're going to see the same result here too. They can try and defend this, but Drunkard is by now just moving over, attacking the keyed wall, and in addition, of course, attempts to take down any kind of wave that is making its way over here. Down to the bottom of the map, similar picture. We have currently Rhaegar and Genji attacking there. In the middle, the fort has already fallen. Topside, most of the heroes on the red team are attempting to safeguard the fort, but in experience alone, they are falling farther and farther behind. It's an entire level that the Raiders now lead over Team Kayak, and the lead just gets extended at this point, meaning they are about to lock in level 16. Pretty successful curse for them, so that's 2 forts already gone, and they're just pushing towards level 16 to be even more aggressive with this, I suppose. Top fort has now also fallen, which means they netted all 3 of them during this objective. And since they also stole the siege giants, they are now about to hit level 16 talents, which means easy 1.5 level advantage over Team Kayak. And of course the bosses are also up as well. Immediately ping, by the way, from the red team, so they are just saying, guys, we need to do something. Likely the Raiders are going for their boss. We need to go to the top and try and take ours. They are a little bit late to the party though. We got Urel just jumping around here. As long as she doesn't die, this is gonna be a nice stalling tactic for them. And Gavlo is able to easily jump out. Blessed shield being used. Where's the ult? Ah, interrupted. And Urel is dead. Yeah, Urel down, but the boss at the bottom of the map is still walking through the lane already. And now the blue team is moving towards the top to maybe even take the second one. Because essentially Team Kayak needs to do something, right? They can't just simply look at this and say like, alright guys, we're gonna let that bottom boss do whatever it wants. So there's a bit of an awkward moment for the red team. They are still trying to interrupt this and zone them away. And Jojo alone with her presence is already showing, hey, first of all, we know what you're doing. And second of all, we're threatening that we're coming in and taking you down. As long as Urel isn't here, it's a bit tricky for the Raiders to fully commit to this. Because the Haka could global in and he's the only defender at the bot lane. So they defend the boss. That means that more damage is done to the bot lane. But the keep is never really threatened. It's just too early in the game. The bosses haven't scaled properly yet. But the attacks continue, and level 16 is now in the hands of both teams. So that talent lead for the Raiders has disappeared, but they're still looking for a kill here. Jojo with another ult to cover their retreat, gets the shield out again, and they barely make it. Sylvanas with good damage, so she's by now taken over the #1 spot. She's a little bit ahead of Junkrat, who's at 38,000, Genji at a respectable 30k. And another tribute spawning. Not the most important one. Obviously, the blue team wants to claim it to make sure that Kayak doesn't establish pressure on the next objective against them. But talking about pressure, catapults are starting to slowly become an issue as well. Yeah, next team fight. Rhaegar is only self-ancestral, by the way. The doggy only heals itself. I don't think we have seen a single ancestral on another hero that actually went through. But he has been ancestraling himself at least 3 times that I've paid attention to. So yeah, Rhaegar doing his thing. Bot lane is now pressuring. Odin gets popped. They're trying to zone them away from the tribute so they can take the second one here. Mid lane is pressuring top side as a siege giant camp that is now also slowly making his way over towards the right side. And down here they're still attacking a little bit further. Link is going to be interrupted by Junkrat, I assume. Yep, that's the case. Urel jumped in. They're trying to use the choke point to their advantage here. Very early ult also from Urel. So that is a 2-minute cooldown that they just burned. But they're zoning them away nicely. And Junkrat is getting a lot of damage done with those grenades. I mean, he's back to top damage in the game. 50k against Sylvanas 41. And they zoned them completely out. They also forced them back to save their walls, which means that it is the first tribute for the Raiders now, after they just took the curse a bit earlier. So less pressure on the blue team now. They are also getting a bit more aggressive with their posturing on the map, really trying to force and engage and trying to see if they can maybe net themselves an easy kill here. So far it hasn't quite worked out yet, but we'll see how much further they can go. And Junkrat is dealing with the bot lane. Which also, by the way, means that they're going to get a pretty significant amount of experience here through that double lane as well. And I'm pretty sure that he's likely going to push out another wave, unless they really need him topside, because the red team seems to be fully committed to this boss. Seem to be saying, okay guys, we gotta take this one. So let's make a play here. Let's fight for it before the blue team gets level 20 and steals it away. That was a nice combo in the choke point. And it leads to a kill. No, it doesn't. Sven gets away. And now the red team is in real trouble. They were so close getting a kill. But they lose their Haka. They lose Jojo. And boy, oh boy, do they lose momentum now. Rega trying to go for the fruit fly. Brightwing on the run. Sylvanas gets eliminated. Brightwing gets caught. The fruit fly grabbed and taken down. That's 4 kills in total in this fight for the Raiders. Kayak was so insanely close in that battle to get a kill on Genji. I think it was down to 15 HP. He was able to move out, and then the team just completely fell apart there. Very, very well done by the Raiders. And now they're breaking through the top lane. Obviously, they got level 20 now. That netted them so much experience just a second ago. They can go for another kill. They're trying to stagger the final death on the Tigers. And that's a 5-man team wipe. So down they go, 10 kills to 4. The Haka is back. Keep doesn't stand a chance. Don't forget that top boss is still there. So if they go for Keep now, and then go for boss, they could push for core. They could also just say, okay, we're not going to commit fully to the keep. We get the boss instead, take it down that way. One way or another, they're heavily ahead, and Kayak is just simply trying to stop the bleeding. They're losing hero after hero, staggered deaths here. Tigers wasn't back, the damage dealer missing. Now they go for the Haka again. He gets locked down too. Nice to see also from Rega. Once more, we get Brightwing cooked, and since a little bit of a Sudoku move here by Sylvanas, but obviously desperate to attempt and stop this. Another 5-man wipe possibly incoming, but as they're taking kill after kill, they're now making a play straight up for the core, and this looks like game number 1 is going to go to the Raiders here in this best of 3 series at HeroesLounge. Nicely done, the shield gone, the core falling, only 2 defenders. The Haka, he can't do anything here. He needs to be careful that he doesn't get eliminated right away. And with Rega jumping in, it's the end of the side laner. Job well done. We got a victory on Cursed Hollow for the Raiders in the first game of this series here, the Division 1 of HeroesLounge.gg.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Battlefield of Eternity, map number 2, and it seems like the Raiders kind of, I don't know if this is the Meta Madness training ground for them or if they mixed up the competition that they're playing in. But they're playing a comp without an actual healer, so they use Abathur as their solo support here, but they also have Kira. I think I need to put Kira a little bit into perspective, but before we're going to address Wakanda Girl, let's have a look at who's playing which hero here. Sven is on Genji for the blue team, he got Unforgiven on Abathur, Nano himself on Kira, Uki on Murden, and Gavlo is playing Leoric. On the right side of the map, Team Kayak with J-Hard on Sylvanas, Master Chips on Blaze, Torjan is playing Varian, Arion on Maiev, and Link on Stukov. It's hard for me to put into words how shitty most teams and players perceive Kira to be, because in Meta Madness she has so far, I think, throughout the entire group stage, where we've seen tons and tons of heroes being picked, even if it was just for meme value. Kira herself dying here right away, by the way. So yeah, she's even first blood, free experience. But she's been played, I believe, only once, even when there were barely any heroes left. People just didn't want to play her and said like, nah, that hero is just crap. And I don't know, the game that she played, she also lost, and in this one, she's instantly first blood, so things are not looking too good for Kira these days. So yeah, I don't know. Wakanda Forever might be a little bit outdated, because most people don't really seem to think that she has any value to add in those games. We've seen Nick play her a little bit in the past, and with good success too, but these days she is fairly out of the meta and doesn't really get played a whole lot. So there's that. Abathur, obviously, as our solo support, solo healer, if you so want, goes in this case into an Envenom Nest build. And we're going to see if he can maybe make Kira a little bit more aggressive. If you have that extra sustain that he allows with the symbiote, that can help Genji, that can help Kira. Murd in the past has obviously played with that, has been played with that a lot as well. If you go for attack speed, or if you would go for it, then you can also play a bit more around the Skullcracker. So there's definitely a couple of things that you can use Abathur for. But they're going for a very ballsy comp that I would have more so expected in some of the Meta Madness matches than in actual Heroes Lounge. But as I said in game number 1, a lot of the teams uses a little bit also as a testing ground. And to be fair, Abathur solo support can be played. Pretty difficult. You really need to pick your battles wisely and make sure that when you engage, you fully engage. But they're doing some work over here and they're getting a kill. Now, I'm not quite sure if that was fair to Kira, that Mirrodin just came in and went for the last hit. In Dota 2, that would have been an insta-report. But apparently she's fine with it. Actually, she's a little bit salty and goes to the Nexus. But yeah, she did all the work there. So maybe trying to pay us back for talking ill about her a bit earlier, but time will tell how much she can contribute in this one. Leo, as you would expect, he's topside. He's going to put the side lane under pressure, going up against Blaze in this case. And since the objective has just now been announced, both of the teams are making their move towards the Bruiser camp, trying to get more pressure going on those forts. With level 4, we're also getting the Prolific Dispersal. We got the Envenom Nests in, so not only does it help you to scout, you also can slow the opponent down when they are making their own plays. Up at the top, Gavlo again sitting tight here, but the play down here at the bottom of the map is already continuing. And there's another kill. Abathur coming in and taking down Stukov, so they went for the aggression, but you can see that they need that sustain. It's good that they have Murden at the front line, because not only does he synergize well with Abathur's symbiote, but he also has, of course, his own sustain. And Kira gets out of the fight as they are claiming the life of Varian and Maiev. I mean, damn. 5 kills to 1. Off to a very, very good start with all that aggression that they're putting on the table here. If they can sustain that throughout the match, that would be pretty fantastic. If that's the case or not, that's a very different question on the other hand, so time will tell. So far they haven't won the objective, not even close. I mean, they're currently looking at nearly no objective damage. Nobody has made a move there. Instead, they focused on the lanes and experience, which result in a 1-level lead for them. And with that, we now have on level 7 the Vile Nest. We got also the Skullcracker and a full collapse onto Blaze, who turns it around with a nice jet propulsion, and it ends with the death of Genji and Muradin. Yeah, both of them down, and Nano gets now caught too, so Kira bites the dust as they are focusing their attention to the Immortal and to Leoric. But the objective is starting to look a little bit better now for Team Kayak. They're definitely winning the halftime show here, I can tell you that much. And they, of course, have also caught up pretty well with experience. Now, with level 7, we got the Bonds of Corruption for them. The long pitch is over there. And, well, as the halftime show is over, it seems that the red team is going to walk away with Immortal number 1. Would surprise me if anything crazy happens, and since the blue team didn't even try, it's not going to be the case. A kill would go a long way on the other hand. If you can get a kill now, just before they're coming in with the Immortal, then you're looking good. But Kira gets murdered again, and it seems like Genji is going to follow. So, yep, that's that. With that, we now have 2 heroes, well, maybe 3? No, 2. 2 heroes eliminated on the blue team side, and that is going to make the push with the Immortal even easier. Sylvanas, of course, is going to make it even more dangerous. Maiev died. Bit of a setback for Team Kayak. But off we go. With that, we have the top fort very likely eliminated. Mirrodin dancing around in the background here, trying to put more pressure onto Stukov, I guess. But he went a bit too deep, and with Varian sitting around, Varian can just simply come in, taunt him, and then force that kill. So now all of a sudden it's 7 kills to 6, and the story doesn't end with the fort being destroyed. Even though it's the first Immortal, seems that Team Kayak in that 4 versus 5 situation, and with Sylvanas, is all of a sudden realizing that they might just be able to take down that wall. Don't think they can get much more than that. Would surprise me. But if the wall gets destroyed, it's a really good start and opens opportunities up for later on in the game. Nano gets caught, so Kira again in trouble. A little bit of a slappity slap by Stukov. And Sylvanas is dead. Yep, there it is. Level 10 abilities, kind of nice, but didn't save Sylvanas. She went for the mind control. One of the problems is obviously that Blaze was at the bot lane during all of this, and he's now sitting at a lane where they destroyed the entire wall. Noteworthy, I already pointed it out, that they took the Vile Nest on level 7, but just in case this wasn't completely clear, this means they don't have Mule. So now you have the extra control thanks to the movement speed slow, but at the same time you won't be able to repair anything. Most of the time that isn't that big of a problem. It's a little bit more annoying when you get attacked at the core later on in the game, but still something worth pointing out since it limits the staying options a bit. Tons of nests over here, and that's half HP for Blaze as he just walks through that little gap. Nano gets again caught though, and Kira is dead once more. She died 4 times already. So yeah, eliminated 4 times in a row. Unforgiven is about to lose the copy on Genji. They're hoping for a real kill though, and that is the real deal dying. The lead inexperience is now there for Team Kayak, and they are taking full advantage of the situation they find themselves in. And for the Raiders, this is tricky because they're losing control of the game, and it's going to be very difficult with the comp that they are playing here to regain that control. So they're obviously doing their best in an attempt to slowly bring this back, but the red team is making all the right moves at this point. They're coming in just saying, alright guys, let's take down a few more of these camps, let's steal away what we can, and then attempt at least to get some kills in the process. And every single kill that they get like this is gonna hurt the blue team further. They're losing more and more control of the game. They're obviously attempting to come in. Ult not really doing a lot for them here either. And now that Genji goes in with the X-Strike, he gets immediately met by CC, gets controlled and taken down. That's kill number 10 now for the red team. And yeah, it seems like the Raiders might have just gone off the deep end a little bit. Thinking outside of the box is nice, but you don't need to rip the box apart and burn the pieces. That's pretty much what they just did. And yeah, after what we've just seen, Meta Madness going for Kira is maybe a bit wild. Maybe Nick is one of the few that should go for Kira, and the rest should probably stay far away from her. Maybe at some point we're going to get a bit of a balance patch again and she gets some love. Kappa. But yeah. Massive amount of copiums over here. Okay, so Master Chips goes down. At least the blue team is now slowly starting to bring it back a little bit, but the halftime show is nearly lost to them. So another big problem here. And we also got Haymaker for Merlin. Just trying to go for some Playmaker moves over here, and we'll see if he can do something with that. It's a little bit unlikely, but we'll see. Again! Kira, the one thing that I like about Kira is like, it's a little bit with Asmodad when he rides on the carpet, but Kira just swinging around is always just looking like she's having fun. She comes in and is like, whee! And just swings, and it's just glorious. So, yeah. Good fun for her, but that fun ended quickly as she gets killed. Another little trap by Abatha, and the objective claimed by Team Kayak. Now, the blue team did a lot better this time, reducing the shield. So they can't rely on that heavy of a push, I would assume. But let's not forget that both of the forts already got destroyed. So now with level 13 for both teams, we have a play straight up for the keep. And again, Sylvanas, she can change things very quickly. First Stormbolt gets YOLO'd out over here, went into the Sledgehammer obviously. So that helps them a little bit. There's still a camp at the top, and important to note, at the top they don't have a wall anymore. So that Siege Giant camp that is top side has the potential to at least damage the keep. I don't think that it's going to be enough to claim it. But down here, that's where the real action is now beginning. One tower already down, Immortal still up. They're trying to drive the fire a bit past the objective. Leo gets very low, turns around, but he dies first. Maiev shows no mercy there. The Abatha copy has also been eliminated, and they are in real trouble. That's another kill on Kira. Kill number 5, if I'm not mistaken, and they are pushing for the keep. And as already predicted earlier, the top side is getting slaughtered now by this camp. The minions get pushed towards the keep itself. This one down at the bottom of the map is definitely going to fall. Leo is now ghosting up towards the top in an attempt to at least save this one. But there is still minions around. Catapults are slowly coming in. and it's already dropped the keep at the top down by 30% roughly. So definitely not really a good spot to be in for the Raiders, and they somehow need to recover here, but again, 16 is going to be ready for Team Kayak in, I want to say, like half a minute. So oof. 6 deaths on Kira, 4 on Genji. Another little tether into the Stukov. Silence. True and tried combo. Still fantastic, especially with the added CC of Varian himself. 33,000 damage for Sylvanas. Genji has to X-Strike out of this one. The disc, they just can't get away from them. Every time that you think you're gone, they're leeching back up onto you and slow you down. And with that little play by Stukov and Blaze, it's the end of Genji. Once again, they have the level 16 talents now. Kira copy is trying to slow them down slightly, but even that is just a wish. It's not gonna happen. They're gonna take this down too quickly. Camp is stolen away, and we still have more than a level for the Raiders to bridge before they can draw even in talents with their opponent. Bottom keep, of course, gone, so easily the focus shifting towards the top in an attempt to now take this one down as well. It's not gonna happen right away, but they still can take a couple of camps, and the more important part is, of course, that the objective is now coming up, and this one in particular is tough to win for the blue team. They already were struggling throughout the entire game when it came to the Immortals, but now they're also in a spot where they got to deal with a talent disadvantage, and that is making things even more tricky. So without level 16, this is definitely a bit of a desperate attempt. They can't buy themselves enough time either. There's a camp at the bottom of the map that is already going for the core. Here, a quick push comes through though, and Link survives. Like, what the hell? Stukov had pretty much negative hit points as he was going into the bunker, but instead of him dying, it's Kira and Leoric that have both been eliminated. So with that, we have the halftime show easily locked in. The shield on the core is slowly getting destroyed by the catapult, and as that happens, at the top we also have a catapult and a camp coming in. The fights continue. Another taunt, another play. They're going for Genji and they drop him. The Immortal... Again, this is going to be a massive, massive shield. Abathur doing his best, but now we have the camp attacking the keep. Catapult is griefing as usual. Look at this guy. Should lose his driver's license immediately. If there's an Uber for catapults, he's going to get 1 star. He's not even going to get 1 star. He's going to get 0 stars. He initially moved into the right direction, but at this point, he is just absolutely embarrassing himself. So that guy is drunk on the wheel and needs to be fired. But with 18 kills to 9, I don't think that's going to have any lasting consequence for him, because it seems that this Immortal is going to very well take aim for the top keep and also core. And they've done well. They've done really well here. 42,000 damage. We got 58,000 for Abathur. Looking good there. Everybody is trying to fight past the Immortal. But even here, it's not looking too great. They are getting a kill, though. So they're getting the kill on Maiev. Maybe they can slow this down and stop it after all. But they need more than that, because the keep is gone, and now the Immortal is on its way to the core. And Sylvanas is just popping off with Stukov dying. She gets the kill on Genji. Mirrodin is low, the copy is gone, Kira is dead, and Leo, nice, with a bit of Abathur support. He comes in, swings for the fences, and takes down Sylvanas. The mace to the face, she's gone, but I think so is the core. It seems like we're looking at a tie in this best-of-3 series between the two teams. 33 kills in total up to this point, and 15 minutes in. Team Kayak locks in the W on Battlefield of Eternity as we are headed to the last map of the series. Game number 3, the Raiders against Kayak, and we find ourselves on, I was about to say Tomb of Spider Queen. Tomb of the Garden Curse. Alright, here we are, where the teams are fighting for tributes, seeds to summon the web weavers, garden terrors on this so unique and rare map that Blizzard totally didn't puzzle together out of maps that already existed. On the left side, we got the Raiders with Sven on Blaze, we got Uki on Stitches, Unforgiven on Deckard Cain, Gavlo on Maiev, and Nano on Kel'Thas. Ashalanore, Salami. Okay, so the Pizza Master is in the house. On the right side, it's Kayak with Master Chips on the Haka, Torjan on Murden, J-Hard on Hanzo, Arion on Tracer, and Link is playing a Brightwing. And look at that, we got the Hungry for More. I'm a big fan of this talent. There's so many talents where you can just like stack up and turn in the late game into a total monster, which is super fun to watch. A lot of the talents are not necessarily the best talents for a hero when you are talking about like strict talent advantages and which one is more effective for a player. But I would lie if I'd say that I don't enjoy when you have somebody properly stacking. There's a couple of heroes where the stacking talents don't really make a whole lot of sense because they're just too weak. Artanis is a good example. His auto attack stacking is pretty shit. It's honestly utter garbage. Even if you get like 500 or more, it doesn't really do enough to justify the commitment and the effort that you have to put into it, especially compared with other talents where you can get stacks in. But then again, Artanis is nothing else but a glorified minion in the first place, so he's just basically a damage soaker. And it's other heroes that I think could be tweaked a little bit more. A good example would be Arthas. We talked about Arthas in the past. And his trade build, that could be a little bit better. But either way, so this is game number 3, and whoever wins here is going to take the series, the best of 3 in Division 1 of Heroes Lounge. So time will tell. Top side, we currently have our 1v1 established, Blaze against the Arca. Not any surprises here. This time a real healer for the Raiders. They went for the old man for Deckard Cain. So it is pretty much the Diablo Memorial build over here. Yeah. Gotta say, played the Diablo 4 beta and it was surprising fun. It's again an absolute crime how underpowered barbs are at this point in time, but then again, if you played any of the Diablo games, you're probably used to this by now. Anything that is like a mage or not is always stronger. But to me it was pretty funny because I started out with a barb as I always do, especially as a hardcore player, and you have to manage your potions, you have to manage your cooldowns the entire time. Then I played Necro on the second weekend, and oh my god, like it is playing the game in easy mode. You can literally just wank with one hand, play with the other. You never even have to use a potion. My Necro didn't know what the hotkey for potions was. Why? Because he never had to use one. He was just like sitting there and he was just killing everything in sight, like instantly, never got any damage. It was a total joke. So this is obviously, or was a beta, and it had a lot of the good old Diablo feel to it, so that game has potential, which surprised me because, I mean, it's a Blizzard game. But I gotta say that a little bit of balancing is, I don't think, too much to ask for. So yeah, hopefully in the final version they're going to balance this out a little bit more than they did in the beta, because the gap between these guys was absurd. Talking about gapping, we have a big commitment down here at the bottom of the map. Brightwing down, Maiev down, Deckard Cain in trouble, the old man walking to the wrong direction. He's full senile over here. I mean, that old boomer doesn't even know where he's going. He needs Google Maps or something. Don't you have a phone? I mean, seriously, bro. This is a Blizzard game. So, yeah, he went the wrong direction, got caught, got killed. That's not kill number 2. Stacks for Diablo, he's sitting at 4. Nothing really to write home about. Mummy isn't going to be proud of that one just yet, so you have to put in a bit more effort if you really want to show off here. So we'll see if they can do that. But now we also got Sven at the top. He's still holding the fort for them, figuratively and literally. And now he's playing a build that we've actually already seen from him during Meta Madness. So he goes on for the Sunfire Enchantment and the Energy Royal over on level 4. A little bit different. Maiev, Stormbolt to the face, guarantees the trip to the dentist. And now they're turning it instead on Tracer. And she gets stopped in Brightwing with the honorable Sudoku move. That was a solidarity suicide that we just saw there. So as Tracer dies, Brightwing comes in and is like, I got this. And well, what can I say? You didn't. So yeah, Brightwing down, kill number 3. Blue team pulling it a bit ahead on the kill count. And now they play at the top thanks to the Bruiser camp that they got. So they push this one out. Hanzo, you can run, hipster boy, you can't hide. There's the hit and the tether. Another living bomb, and he's just like, help. And he is getting away. And Deckard Kane dies. Oh boy, that was a bit sad over here, but alright. I mean, Deckard died, but he died for a good cause. He bought them time, right? It was calculated, absolutely calculated. They just came in and said, you know what? I'm gonna distract them. You take the fort down. And the strategy worked perfectly. So this was obviously an IQ 200 play that we just saw there. And they succeeded in executing the play, taking the fort down. They sacrificed Deckard Kane as the pawn he is. And that was that. Hanzo got away. And by now we have another seat on the menu. And Stitches with 7 stacks now. So Stitches still trying to stack it up a little bit. Needs to, of course, to attempt to get that extra movement speed, for example. Going full race car Stitches as the game continues. And just speed things up a bit for himself. But yeah, we're not there yet. He's at 5%. And we have a Pyroblast. Alright. Pyroblast is in the house for Nano. Let's see if he's going to get value for that one. Or, well, maybe here? Can he get in range? Against the Haka, you probably don't want to use that ult either. Because again, that can happen. There's actually not a whole lot of targets that he can use that on. I mean, Brightwing would be a nice move, but there's quite a few that have escape tools that they can play around with. So, Pyroblast, we'll see how much value he's getting from this one. Rest of the ults, fairly normal. We got the Gorge for Stitches. Nothing insane. Mirrodin didn't try and make any playmaker moves, but instead headed straight into the Avatar. And talking about Mirrodin, he's the one that gets attacked over here and gets gobbled up quickly. So, that's that. And there we go. Boom! Nice! Well done! Playing really well around the recall. Mirrodin, that old memer, gets away, but damn. That was a nice tracer kill. Full on value with the Pyroblast. Okay, so now we got 4 kills to 3. And we have them still pressuring the bot lane. So they are sieging up very heavily to try and take another fort down. Don't forget they already killed the one at the top. This gets out. Mirrodin gets saved again. But the damage output that we're seeing from Khaldor is real. He's at 23,000 top damage in the game. Our man is doing well over here. Oh, Maiev, then again, she's in trouble. Surviving with 80 hit points. Tehaka trying to change that. But now it's actually Khaldor that gets called. And the Salami boy is dead. Khaldor's down. And here we go, Sven gets attacked too. Talking about Salami, I mean, I talked about this before, but I moved. So I moved a little bit away from the old apartment. I have one that is a bit bigger. Studio's a little bit different. And it was actually quite nice because not only is the apartment a little bit bigger, but I'm also saving a bit on the rent. Not a whole lot, but both combined made this an absolute no-brainer for me to move. And I checked out the pizza places now. There are some really good pizza places here in the area, I gotta admit. And they have a mean Diavola. I love spicy pizzas, like good old pepperoni pizza, Diavola and all of that. So while we're talking about the Salami Master here, just throwing it out real quickly, there's some amazing pizza in Valencia. I'm always surprised anew how good and like how much variety in good food there is in this city. It's just crazy. Deckard Kane, he goes down. Alright, we're hating on the old white man these days, and I mean, he's the prime example over here, so of course they have to target him. Gotta know your audience, so they're coming in, dropping him quickly. No chance for the man. 3 kills already. Yeah, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. Deckard Kane becomes the prime target here. We have 2 seats to 1, by the way, in favor of the Raiders. So 1 more seat up at the top is going to spawn now, and that's the chance, maybe, for the first objective, for the Garden Terrace to touch ground. Same time, by the way, we are looking at Stitches with 15 stacks. I mean, he's slowly getting there. Still nothing crazy in regards to speed. We're 10 minutes into the game already, so let's not forget about that. But we're looking at potential movement speed for him. Another 5%. coming through in a moment. And if you're going Gorge, then movement speed is obviously kind of nice. Not only is it easier for you to come in and just eat somebody, but you can also run away a little bit faster and increase the distance a little bit. Full-on kidnap combo. The one thing that I would love with this is maybe even a Zarya in there and then speed barrier on level 4 and make him even more into a race car hero. The combo of that would just be totally glorious, but I haven't seen that yet. So top side, Blaze, he got attacked, but he was able to make his way out too. And yeah, in the meantime, another hook. We already got the healing static over here, the combo with the level 4 talent that Muradin got. So now he has the double clap and the sustain that comes from it. And they are still making moves for the next objective, I guess, because now both of the teams have level 15 on the board, have 2 seeds, fairly even, and the next seed is spawning in only a few seconds. So with that, you really gotta come in and stop them, or this is gonna be the first Garden Terror. And they get it! Garden Terrors are in. That was a little bit too easy even. They're trying to also make a move for Tracer, which kind of worked and kind of didn't. So she gets out after all. The arrow also totally missing. Flying over to North America, narrowly missing the target. But with the Garden Terrors now attacking, especially the bot lane, the Haka has to defend there, which means that they're only fighting with 4 in the middle, and Muradin is already experiencing the lack of a 5-man firsthand as he becomes the target, but is able to jump out. Had to go into additional sustain with the stone form here, but the pressure is real. They are trying to come in and try and drop them quickly. Another hook, another hit, another gravity lapse. Level 16 is on the board, and whew, they are in trouble now. The momentum has definitely turned in favor of the blue team. It did turn in favor of the blue team, but then it was a double kill. Level 16, talent advantage for them. Now comes at a little bit of a nice hook, but there's the recall. Blaze with a sneaky one from the top, but didn't quite work out for him. So yeah, they're still trying to go for Tracer. They're also attempting to save deck Arcane. Yeah, where's that pulverize if you need? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Tracer was nearly caught by that. Big arrow! The arrow of death from Hanzo from the bottom lane. Good jet propulsion from Blaze, but not good enough. Everybody's still getting out over here. Hooks are being YOLO'd. We have the Haka dealing with the Web Weavers, the Garden Terrors at the top. Wall is destroyed, and down at the bottom of the map they went to the gate at least. But the objective could have been a bit more... It could have been a little bit more impactful, I gotta admit. So, yeah. But okay, let's see what we can do here for the two teams. We have now a pretty significant lead in experience for Team Kayak. So that's already sexy. With 18 to 16, they have more than a level lead. They also are leading by 2 kills. We have them right now on the damage board with 55,000 for Tracer. Hanzo at 32k. On the other side, Khaldor with 35,000 himself. And the red team is getting a little bit more cheeky. They're getting more aggressive. They're trying to be more dominant on the map and lock in additional camps for themselves. So easy moves over to steal some of them away. They are, look at Blaze. He's far out here. I mean, he's really far up. He's gonna get ganked hard. I'm not sure if he can get out of this one. I'm a little bit shocked that he thought that that's a good idea. I mean, he's deep. He's really deep. And they're 4-manning him easily. I have no idea what just happened there. Was that intentional bait? I mean, it was so bad it looked intentional, right? So either they horribly miscommunicated, and somehow the rest of his team thought that they were heroes at the bottom of the map and they told him, hey dude, you got time. Or he blanked? Or there is a deeper reason that I just don't get, because they didn't really get anything out of it. It's not like they are baiting everybody to the top and then they take a boss at the bottom. Locking in one bruiser camp is definitely not worth it. They're also giving up that seed, which means that they're now having to deal with the Garden Terrors. So that was a bit of an awkward one. You can't just simply walk up to the opponent's keep solo and not expect to be ganked. Arrow and arrow. The arrow gets taken. Muradin, does he have a jump? Nope, but he has the avatar. Now he can jump out. Stay a while and get wrecked. But yeah, nobody's gonna get wrecked over here. The only thing that got wrecked is the fort. And at the top, I suppose another fort is also going to get wrecked. Stitches with 26 stacks. Nothing crazy. Looking slowly and steadily at an additional 700 hit points. Ooh, nice connect. Deckard Cain gets tongued. And here's the level 20. Alrighty, level 20 is in. Can they... Oh, my F! Oh boy, oh boy. This went from this is gonna hurt to this is gonna hurt a lot. They're in real trouble here. They just lost the keep. And it seems that the red team is thinking core. There's 2 heroes down on the blue team side, so there's a chance that they actually pull this one off. They don't have catapults here. Siege Giants are there. Shield is slowly falling. Blaze. Bunker is out. Shield gone. Core's going to get attacked in a second. They're going to get some damage done, but this is going to be enough to end the game. Arrows already out. Stitches trying to hook them, trying to waste a little bit of their time. 80% now. Another hook hits hard, and they're zoning them away from the core. 83%. Level 20 in the hands of Team Kayak, and the red team is slowly retreating as we have Deckard Cain respawning, and Maiev is also soon going to be back to business. So they decided that it's not going to be worth it, and yep, this is going to be a spicy game. Really spicy game for sure. So for now, down at the bottom of the map, the party continues as they're fighting this one out. We have nearly level 20 for the blue team. This is what they were waiting for the entire time, of course. They need to draw even in talents if they want to have a chance here. And they're always trying for the... I mean, they got a lot of CC, right? So they're always trying for the CC chain, with Kelthas dropping his abilities in, getting the pulverize, getting stuns out. But now it's Blaze that's in trouble again, and he gets crushed. Tracer comes in with a kill, another fort falls, and they're really in trouble now. Quick gobble on Mirrodin, but the arrow stops them before they can go through the gate. Kelthos! Oh, and he turns it with the gravity lapse and the double kill. Nice! Sweet double kill by them. Maiev gets taken. It's an absolute bloodbath down here at the bot lane now. Everybody is just taking damage, exploding. Top side, the keep is getting attacked by 2 catapults, by the way. The keep is likely gonna fall. Tracer is about to get popped here. And, well, she makes it out, but Brightwing isn't so lucky. Now it hits Kelthas too. Told you, it's an utter bloodbath. Top keep is gone. Top keep is gone. And it's just ridiculous what's happening here. Another hit. And Stitches this time. Okay, they can't get him. But boy, oh boy, look at that fight. This is where they turned it around with the gravity lapse and the damage and got the double kill that started all of this up. The front line fell. But now the top keep is gone. So now we have 9 kills to 15. And each team has lost a keep. There's 17 hit points missing, 17% hit points missing on the Raiders core. And it's game 3. Game 3 of the series. Tracer in particular with the 86,000 obviously looking super strong here right now. In addition to that, we have on 20 the Respect the Elderly, Shadow of the Huntress, Flamethrower is in. But yeah, this game is getting bonkers. It's getting real mad. There's 2 forts still standing for each team. Nobody has seats anymore, so this is the first seat that is going to get grabbed now by the teams. So yeah, they're making their moves there. Meantime, down to the bottom of the map, have to deal with the catapults, need to make sure that they're not pushing against your keeps. There's no globals for the Raiders, so they have to be very careful, because in the late game, if you have a good macro team, once that a few of those forts and keeps are gone, globals, especially on a big map like this one, they play a huge role. And there's Brightwing and Dehaka on the red team side, so that gives them a mad advantage in these situations. Stitches is now at 35 stacks. Again, still not crazy, he's slowly working his way towards an additional 1,000 hit points. But more importantly, he's also, of course, helping with the HP that he gets back from Devour. And also, he is getting a bit closer to the 40 stacks, which will allow him an additional 5% movement speed, putting it up to 15 in total. Nothing to sneeze on. I mean, again, 15% extra movement speed is kind of nice. Helps you to walk away from these fights a little bit faster, helps you to utilize Gorge a little bit better. So it's not like you're not getting any value out of this one. So yeah, should be pretty decent. But it's the seats that everybody is currently starting to aim for. Tracer is also using all of the mobility and the escape tools that she has to be a bit aggressive as she pushes some of these lanes farther out. The Haka is doing the same thing down at the bottom of the map. So, yep. Blue team has to react to it. This is where the tactics are starting to really come into play more and more. Yep, there's another one. So one more for Stitches. It's going to be tough to take him down as the game continues. Stitches has so far not even died. Not once. And as his hit point pool increases, as Devour gets more damage for him, it will be harder and harder to take him down. Same is to an extent true for Kelthas, who's obviously getting a massive shield with this level 1. But it's not quite the same trade-off here. It's a seed for a seed between the two teams now. And yeah, they're always throwing these hooks out, trying to get a lucky hit in. And that's pretty much all that they need. One lucky hit and you're going to be in a pretty good spot. Just take a target down. Death timers are fairly high now. With that, you can dominate the map for a long time, do your thing. Hanzo has also not died yet. So Hanzo and Stitches are the two that have not fallen yet even once. But now, with 41 stacks, that's the extra movement speed for Stitches that I talked about. He's at 15% now. And he can use that fairly easily. And they're already popping the disc here on the Haka. Zoned away a bit. Blaze gets absolutely murdered. Helping Hand is good, but not good at 2 hit points! 2 hit points! He got away! He had 2 hit points at times. Now they're going for Tracer. And they try to get out of the fight with the Haka. They got Kane as well. The Haka with another lick. Now they're trying to finally get Stitches eliminated. And it seems like this time they can. He does his best to survive, but that's 2 down. And guys, here, check out the hit points on Blaze. That was insane. They lock him down hard. And then Blaze gets hooked out, barely makes it, and is able to escape. The Siege Giants are now claimed though, with 17 kills to 9 and a 5 versus 3 situation on the map. They're not going for core. They don't feel comfortable against Kelthas. They're saying Kelthas and Maiev, I should probably say. So instead, what they're doing is they're trying to make sure that they're getting damage in on the keep at the bottom of the map, prepping that, and they can also move towards the top for an additional seed, because that's another objective. That's another Garden Terror that's got to touch ground. So they're playing this extremely safe right now. And honestly, for good reason. If in this situation you're going for core with these heroes, it's going to be a bit tough. If Maiev pops off, if she works well with Kelthas, then you are going to suffer a lot of damage. So they decide to play it safe. They want to go for the seed, and this one cannot be contested, not without Stitches. So here's another set of Garden Terrors for Team Kayak. Game number 3, final game in this series. Who's going to take the victory? Vinland Raiders, they won the first one, and then on Battlefield of Eternity, they went for a comp that was, I mean, I want to say quite out there. Didn't work out for them. Now they're trying to salvage the situation, but here's another opportunity for Team Kayak to end their game. Now, to be fair, with all of that fire damage over here, it seems like Kelthas just burns that Garden Terror to a crisp. Burn, baby, burn. It gets easily burned down. Now we got 17 kills to 9. Mid lane at least is safe, but down at the bottom of the map, it's another play for the keep. Good arrow, but deep in the back line. They're following up with more damage from Hanzo. Disc is missing this time. Keep is nearly gone. Another attempt. Oh, Pyro! This is not going to do anything. Yep. 0 value Pyro, but they're getting value at the bot lane. They're getting closer and closer to destroying another keep. Good interrupt here, they got Kane. Nice move by Hanzo with the bullseye on level 20. They need to poke this a little bit further though if they want to get the value here. They have still not taken the keep down. That's Catapult slowly moving into the middle, but they really need to try and pull that one off, and they just can't. Muradin is dead, so the bottom keep is still standing. It doesn't matter it's only a couple of hit points. It doesn't matter at all. So, yeah, Catapult has to be taken out. Don't forget, we're 24 minutes into this game. Catapults are smashing. Absolutely smashing. But the keep down here still stands, which means no Catapult advantage at the bottom of the map for Team Kayak. So, what did they really get out of the objective? I mean, not really that much if you're honest about it. They didn't take another keep down. They gained a bit more map control. But since they failed to take the keep apart, essentially it's a similar situation than before. Now, of course, it makes it easier for them to claim the keep if they make another push happen, but for that they first have to get into a decent position. We're currently at level 24, by the way, so we're 25 minutes into the game. Since Muradin is missing, the blue team is getting a bit more aggressive, they're getting a little more cheeky. They're all confident right now. They're all swagger, they're like, yeah, we're 5 versus 4, let's go, boys. Mid fort gets destroyed, they came in and take it down, so there it is. And what are we gonna get down here? Righty. Yeah, there's a hit on the objective. They claim this one as well. 10-17. I really like the amount of pressure that we're seeing from the teams, but as I said before, it's really the globals that are shining now. They are doing really well. So, yeah. Globals will control... I mean, again, for Team Kayak it would be so much harder if they didn't have globals, but since they can always send somebody back to save a lane, it's great for them. Uki, he's getting more and more stacks together on his level 1. Now, I really don't think that he's doing a great job with stacking. Was a little bit harder for him in this game, I suppose, but 50 stacks, 25 minutes in, that's absolutely nothing. You can definitely get more than that done. So he wasn't really diligent about it, but I would also lie if I'd said that 50 stacks don't amount to anything. That is a fairly decent improvement on the hit points. That's an additional 1,000 that he has. It helps you with the Devour. You get the movement speed advantage. Once you get the 60, you have 20% movement speed advantage, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, very, very curious to see how Stitch is going to perform at the front line as this continues. But catapults play a bigger and bigger role as we're now heading into minute 27. So if you're able to set a few of those onto the lanes, then you're in a great spot. This is also important because now it's a chance for the Raiders to get another objective for themselves. If they get this one, then they can claim more control. But look at the mid and the bot lane. On both lanes, we now have a camp pushing and catapults joining too. So that means the blue team is on a timer. Blue team is definitely on a timer here. Tracer trying to maybe flank in. Yeah, Stitches shouldn't really be the target. It's going to be tough for them to take him down. Arrow! Nice! Good hit on Galthas, but not good enough. Nobody there to follow up. Disc on Tracer. Great hit by Gavlo. Great hit by Gavlo, and that's the kill. The kill set up on Tracer. Now they blocked the Haka. Body blocked into Oblivion. The seed got claimed, so at least that's a bit of a silver lining for the red team. They lost 2 heroes, but they prevented the objective from being claimed by the Raiders. Bot lane, yeah, he's too late. Another big win for the red teams. That's the second keep that gets now destroyed. In the middle, there might even be a bit of damage on the core itself. I don't really think so, but they got close. The fact alone, though, that the bottom keep has now fallen is huge, because it means that there's more catapults spawning for Team Kayak, and that is big. That's absolutely big. So the Raiders are in serious trouble. They might have a 5 versus 4 going on for themselves now, but with 28 minutes on the board, this is still insanely difficult for them. They need to be a bit more aggressive. They don't have a global to control the mid and the bot lane. So once that catapults are pushing here, they are in real trouble. But there's a seed spawning. And the Haka is dead for another 10. If they... Yes, they are gonna get it. They're gonna get the Garden Terrace here. So this might just be the moment. This might be the moment of truth. This is their best and maybe their only opportunity to win this game after all. They have the pressure play available for themselves now, as they are starting to come in here in the middle. They have the Garden Terrors on all lanes, knocking down those keeps. Top side, the keep is already gone, but they are making the big play, or they're trying now. They have to. They lost their keeps. They have to at least draw even with the opponent. A hook on Hanzo, and there's the CC and the kill. Hanzo down. Nicely done. It's gonna be a follow-up on Muradin eventually, I suppose. The keep is already gone. First Garden Terror makes it over to the core. Second one on its way. Bot lane also not looking too good. This might just be the moment where Team Kayak is sinking. They are having real trouble defending this, and I think this might just be impossible. Hanzo is dead. It's a 5 versus 4. The final keep at the bottom of the map is about to get dropped. That means mad value for the Raiders already. with this objective, but they want, of course, more than this. They want to end the game right here. They don't want this to draw out even further. The core is down to 92%. They're still fighting this out. Nice kill against Maiev. This might have just been the saving grace for Team Kayak. They are still in trouble, though. And another Garden Terror is now the last one, making it over to the core and dropping it even further. Maiev dead. Can they get another one? They go in and they take Blaze down. Blaze is dead. 2 heroes gone, but the red team is also extremely low, and Khaldor is doing his best to try and eliminate them, but Tracer dodging around them. Another hook, another hit, bullseye, and bye-bye Khaldor. Khaldor is gone, and there's the defense. Oh my god. 68% on the core. They need to take the catapults down. It's Winion time, baby, and they're hitting hard. This went from 90% on the core to 57 in the matter of seconds. Absolute seconds. Insane. Absolutely insane. So now we have 13 kills to 21, and the red team is trying to end the game. Moving over to the left side, 6 seconds for Maiev. It seems like it's going to be impossible. Stitches isn't here to defend either. They were so close to take Team Kayak down, but the Raiders, they're looking for victory. They want to win this one. The core down to 50%. Their defense doing the best they can, but it's not happening. This is a win. Team Kayak with a 2-1 victory against the Raiders. GG, and well played here in Division 1 of HeroesLounge.gg.